Okay, actually trying an experiment here. That what I wanted to get to was, as I said before, um, talking about this systray. We have a general system tray class now. Oops. And of course, as usual, went and modified everything. But it's essentially the same thing. I changed the init function to say init tray icon. It's a bit clearer. There's a default one which just takes the current window text. Another one which just takes the mode and with the current window text. But if you specify both, you can. Now I could have added an extra one to take icon, the actual icon itself, the picture, because it doesn't have to be the icon associated with your program. And I suppose I will add that, but at the moment I don't need it, so I'll just leave it as it is. I did add this unregistered message thing, but I think I might remove that and just keep that plus plus. There's 16,000 available numbers, and I'm talking about one program. What's the point? At most, you'd ever use 2 or 3, right? And why try to manage an array with polls and all that sort of stuff? They're not global, so they don't get used up permanently. All right. Now I've already done this. I wanted to show you the to-tray program, and I've already taken this project and used this new thing instead and tested that it works, but I think going through the exercise of doing that should be instructive. In fact, some of these changes came out of modifying this program. Now this still works automatically as it should. It's just deriving from window, regular old window. Okay, I still got I removed a bunch of stuff from it. It was unnecessary. Switch to debug. Let's see, what else did I do in the meantime? In the meantime, I just said build and nothing happened. Okay, I'm going to clean everything. And in the meantime, I discovered, as I was fiddling around and talking on some of those message boards about this, about those prompts and the policies, group policy, and the installation programs getting special privileges. I happen to notice in local security policy, which I now know is something that comes special, but I'm sure applies to every version of Windows 7. They just don't give you the program. I'm sure that the settings aren't the same. If this thing would just start up, you'll get to see. The thing where we were looking at policies was here. That's in the other tutorial section on Windows NT. And at some point I went through and I set up my system in such a way that it always prompts when privilege escalation is needed. So there's always a prompt, but it's an easy prompt because it doesn't switch to this thing called the secure desktop. That part I disabled. But what I was trying to get to was I noticed this thing. Detect application installations and prompt for elevation. Now, I suspect that that's the one that was, I tried just disabling it. I'll turn this off. Remember, if I took any old program called utest and renamed it to something with the word setup in it. Now, these ones are okay because those were the ones I built with piano setup. With this one. Now, if I just took this program and take it out here, no, it's still got that thing. Is it going to prompt me though? It prompted me. Now just turn that thing off. So now what is detecting this to be? Why is it got a shield? That has not been answered. I thought it was because of this. Is there anything else about that? Run all administrators. I don't know. I have to look into it. Alright, now getting back to things, I'll just change this back. I don't want to. I like to keep my system more or less like the average system if possible, because if you're going to write software and distribute it, then you don't want it to behave differently on your system than it would normally behave. Okay, how much time will I use? Quite a lot. This thing all built fine. This I won't need. Now all this code is the same as before. Taskbar created and everything. This one uses a timer for some reason. Initially I wrote something quick to take over the role of this thing. When I'm in one of these boxes, if I'm in one of these boxes and I want this to go to the system tray, I create a window and then hide the box and then do the system tray dance, and when that thing is clicked, then I just kill the window and bring this thing back, make it visible again. That was initially. And then I thought, well, what if I wanted to not hide the current, like the window? So the current window, what I had initially was attached console, and that would be the window to be hidden. I don't think I didn't create anything because that would happen when the program would die. None of this stuff was here. And all I did was create an instance of the TS2 tray program, make the window, hide the command box, and run the loop. Same as we have. But what if you wanted to run this program and you wanted to hide a different window? Now we know how to hide a window, any window. All that is derived from that special class, and it handles all the messaging and everything, and we get callbacks. But the one thing that I can't do, right, is create a window here, or else this box now would be stuck waiting for that window for that task to complete. See what I'm saying? I can't. If I want to hide this window, and I do that, this is supposed to go in the title bar, screen cap. Okay, now that's good for me because when I click on that thing, it stops the recording, and the icon looks too similar to this one, so it's better to have it here. Now, how was that accomplished? Because I'm back here, right? And I run that program, but that program somehow got out of this box. And the way I do that is basically to run the program again. What I did was in another tutorial I explained how to switch from a Windows program command line to a DOS style, not DOS, command program style argc thing, and so that allowed me to have multiple arguments and switches. In fact, I don't need switches anymore, but what I wanted to do at least was I wanted to run the program again. So I'm inside the program. I want to quit this one and get back to my command prompt and launch another one in its own space and do the hiding thing. However that's done. I haven't explained that, but it's not much different from what we have. So first here, since it's not a console program, so but it's run from inside a console, so this should succeed. I haven't really tested it from not a console. It should quit it if this fails, in fact. But anyway, if the attached console succeeds, if RC is 1, there's no arguments, we get the handle to window of the console, and that happens to be the one we want to hide, and all this else is nothing. Now this would be false, so that would drop us down into here, which is the original program that I had. Right? Now to add support for hiding something else, if argc was bigger than 1, and the first argument was this, I just used the generator to make a unique string, then The window to hide will be now this is second parameter changed to an integer and then cast as an h1. So I'm just I'm running this program with an argument, and the first argument is the handle to window of the thing that I want to hide. And here I'm extracting that, turn this into a number, cast that to an h1. Otherwise, so this is not true, but we haven't been passed the special signal to hide the window. So therefore, the only thing left to do is we haven't found the h-win yet, so search for the h-win. So there are two more cases, and I'll go through in turn in the next video or two. Go through them, but let me just take this case. Right. You can see that I'm trying to set it up so that I can call this program and pass it back the h-win I want to hide, and therefore I can get back to my prompt. So I haven't done this yet. I just found the string being specified, unless unfortunately the window title happens to be that. It can't be, that's unique. I search for it, I try to find a window using the default here is partial match case insensitive. That's why there's a little I here. Find insensitively window. Okay, there's another find window which is not case insensitive. Okay, so if h1 to hide is not equal to console, what would h1 to hide be? It would be no in this case, right? This was false. This was false. Oh no, we found a window, and it's not the console. Okay. But now, what about this case? Here, h1 to hide is also not the console. How come that's not? Oh yeah. This is argc equals 2. Argc would be 3 in this case. If we call this program again, call itself, and give it this funny string plus an h-win parameter, then our argc count will be 3, not 2. So this would be false. Okay. So therefore, in that third case, it would pass to the regular handling. So the special case then is the middle case, and you just have to, again, like I mentioned before, be very, very careful with running this function, create process, and everything should work out okay, provided you don't make stupid mistakes. Like, and I can see I already made a stupid mistake. And I guess I'll end on that stupid mistake. This function, Okay. The command line passed into the function does not have there's no C here. It's not constant. Now this returns a constant pointer to the string. So and that's the private data that is managed by this TS string function. And this function is going to modify that because it says so. That says it's going to modify it. But don't don't think of these as suggestions. These are commands. This is constant. This function will not modify this. Non-constant says this function is going to modify that. Doesn't matter what the reality is. That's relying on it. That's one of the first rules of programming. Do not rely on implementation details. And one of the implementation details of the create process, and one that many people take advantage of wrongly, is the fact that it never does modify this. Not that I know of. But the prototype of the function said it's going to modify it. So I can't pass this constant thing in because it's going to get modified. I don't want that to happen. And then I'll have to make a duplicate of it. But I've got macros coming out of my ears. Auto string. I just have to give it a name. PC command line. The length. Get length. And some threshold. I have auto chunk size is a standard size. Okay. Now that string is going to have the same length as this string. Destination size of destination in T card, and then the source. I don't need that. Now let's just compile. Because I've got a bug here. Doesn't need a cast. PS auto string stir command line unidentified. Well, where did I get? Oh. And just built that up here. Now the length, I always have to double check these. If you're supposed to pass the length or the size, including the null to median, it just says size of buffer. Typically, if you're passing in a buffer size, it wants the size of the buffer. And if you're extracting a string value, typically the length or required length value that is given back doesn't include the null terminator. Don't ask me why, but that seems to be the standard. Okay, now can I run this as something? See if it works. And then I'll go to the next tutorial. Okay, download it. This is one where it has multiple top level windows. So I need a /A, and then eventually I got rid of that switch. If I run this, you see it's completed running, and the thing's here because it ran it again, right? If you look at actually Process Explorer should show up. What the command line was that started that application. Okay, to tray. Here, see? Here's one instance. Oh, it's this one because I ran it from the debug. Path and command line. One of them is the recorder here, right? Where's the time? Okay, the recorder then is this one. It's got the special identifier and an integer number which can be turned into an hwin, and this is the same. Okay, now this one ran to tray. I ran it myself from within this box, so the command line didn't include the full path. But here it is again, the one we just ran, and there's the /A at the end. It just doesn't fit in the bubble. Okay, all right. So I want to go through that next time and how that works, and then we'll fix it up to use our new thing, and everything will be perfect. And click this, and I'll be able to stop this, and you'll notice that when I click this thing here, I made an installer for it. If you want, I just deleted it. I made an installer for it. In here, click this setup. It's a regular installer. I don't want to license agreement. Try to make a GNU type thing. This is where it installs to. That's what InnoSetup gives, and it also adds to startup. Oh, well, adds an entry Alan saw. That's me. Here's the uninstall. You can run it manually if you quit it and you want to start it again. But it's also put into the startup here. So when I start my system, it doesn't require it to be an administrator, and the install won't ask for administrator privileges. It'll just install. Alright, that's long enough. I'll see you next time.